Right, welcome back. So, we're talking about the Chili Queens this morning. And for those of you who don't know the story of the Chili Queens, it's absolutely fascinating. For those of you watching on YouTube and listening along on the podcast or in your car or in your truck, thank you for joining us. And today we're talking about the Chili Queens, one of the greatest stories of old San Antonio. And San Antonio has a lot of great stories. As somebody who studies this stuff for a living, San Antonio, my home dirt, has a lot of really fascinating stories. But the Chili Queens come to us from somewhere around the late 1800s, 1870 to the 1930s, I think. And these Chili Queens were part of the fabric of our community. And to some extent, they still are. I think I read here, let me see in my show notes. Yeah. UTSA basically, in short, describes them. And I did reach out to have one of the folks from UTSA come on the show to discuss this, but I didn't hear back from them just yet. But hopefully we'll do a follow up, at least on YouTube, for you guys watching on YouTube. Maybe we'll run over there and record a video. But these ladies, these Chili Queens, were not just, they weren't running little pop-ups, right? Little food trucks. This is not what they were doing. They were running these night outdoor markets out in the open before Instagram was even a thing. Before they learned before culture learned about these things called street food, which, look, these people were trendy before trendy was cool. But see, the Chili Queens, I think, if you look at the history of the Chili Queens, their ambiance that they carried around would have been completely wild by these modern sanitized downtown standards that we have. I mean, these were lanterns, these were smoke, these were haze, they were music, they were wagons, they were open air plazas, they were horse dung in the streets. I mean, this is a place when in Texas you could used to gamble. There was Tex-Mex in Spanish just going through the air. These big, huge copper pots of chili being cooked all over the place. Can't you smell it? It's kind of like walking through Lonesome Dove. You know? And there's the part there, you know, where they go and pick up the cook, you know, for the trail ride up north to Montana. Was it Tommy Lee Jones eats a grasshopper? It was that kind of place. And that's the kind of place that makes Texas and my native San Antonio very unique. Because the Chili Queens, I think, were more of a combination of civic life. There was some nightlife. There was some class diners in there. You know, the who's who were there. And I think probably it was one part still tourist attraction when people would come to the little rugged city of San Antonio, the Alamo city. I think they would probably want to stop in and try to find the Chili Queens. Now, I think today Market Square tries to carry some of that tradition forward as best as they can, because the city, if you look at the city's marketing version of this, they say it's a plaza that goes back to land granted in like the 1730s for settlers here in San Antonio. And this land was used for entertainment purposes, even back then, right? But early San Antonio plazas, where these Chili Queens were at, these were active marketplaces. They were selling produce over on YouTube. Where I want to try to put some photos in here for you to see this over on YouTube. But I mean, you could bring your wild turkeys, your honey, your spoons that you make, you know, your decor, your pecans, your corn, your beef, your wild venison. You would bring all of this stuff in there and sell it at the market, and then get you some chili. As a native Texan, I'm not sure what can be more Texan than that. We'll be back. So I think really the vibe of the Chili Queens and the whole story, and granted, I think I'm just lightly touching on the conversation of the Chili Queens here. But also, I want us to understand and respect this idea that the food culture in San Antonio, though it is changing, and rightfully so, things should evolve. I think they totally should. But I also think we need to remember our heritage with these chili queens. I mean, and I said this earlier, the modern market square in Mi Tierra, it does have this basic feeling like it's a long lost descendant of these people, of these chili queens, of these merchants, of these traders. But I don't know. And thank God they're preserving it. Thank God they're trying to keep this thing open. That's the magic of it. Is they're trying to evolve Market Square while trying to preserve its heritage. And that, listen to me, as a student of this stuff, that's no easy thing to do. And I respect how they're keeping Mi Tierra very traditional. And I think that's an important thing to do. Keep it real, but evolve it slightly. Evolution takes time. Evolution takes care. Let's not erase the chili queens and the history from our minds. We'll be back. So here's my question. Do you have a place in San Antonio that you think is a throwback to the chili queens? Do you have a place in San Antonio other than Market Square that makes you just feel like old San Antone? Maybe it's on the south side. It can't be on the north side. I guess it could be, but it can't really be on the north side. I mean, when I say this, I say north of like the zoo. Okay? It can't be in Alamo Heights. Although we love you folks out in Alamo Heights. Don't start making comments about this. We love you folks out in Bernie. Y'all are just as Texan as we are. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I like to pick on you guys. Because, you know, I'm a South San guy. But check this out, guys. Do you know a place that's legit, old school, old vibes? I want you to go to YouTube. I want you to drop it in the comments. Tell me about it. Let's get it on. Let's talk about it. We'll be back. Hey, everybody. So I'm Matt. Thanks for watching this 9-minute video here about the Chili Queens. I really appreciate you coming on board here with me. We're trying to do this as simple but as classy as we can, and I'm a big fat guy, so it's hard for me to do anything classy. But I'm going to try. And I want you to come along with me. Come along with me on the journey. If you're watching this on YouTube around the world, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And come on back with us, and we'll see you again in the next video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And remember the Alamo, and remember the Chili Queen.